Hi guys, welcome back to another book review. Today we're here to talk about Under Crimson Blaze by Anna Hawke. So as most of you know, I read a lot of her books. I arc read for her. This is another book in the Immortal Accord series. This is book 9. So again, this one is really good. As most of you know, she writes paranormal romances, and they are on the cleaner side. Not a lot of people know this. She actually writes very adult romantic books that really give you, she's able to get kind of the tension, the angsty tension. She's able to get some of the emotional aspect, but she keeps it clean for the most part. Her romances are very closed doors. She kind of gets a little bit of like I said, she gets a kind of the hotness and the buildup, but then that door closes. And some people, I read a lot of smutty books, and a lot of people know this. I don't mind spice, but sometimes after I've read a ton of spice, and I am a mood reader, there's days that I need a break. I just am not in the mood, or I'm just sometimes I need a break. So, or I've read so many, I just need a break. So I really reach for her books when I just need that break. And like I said, a great palette, she's great palette cleanser for me. And I love that she writes it. So, and I know there's people out there that just aren't interested in the spice. And so I always, we know that I give recommendations on everything. I have everything from young adult recommendations down to the dark romance of the darkest to the spiciest and the smuttiest as possible. And this one is going to be under the paranormal. That's fairly clean and very clean, but still adult, very adult, with adult relationships and adult problems. Going from there, being in the Immortal Accord series, you are going to pick up where the last book left off. It is going to be characters that were kind of brought up in previous books, or characters that we haven't been introduced to in the previous books. You can pick it up and read it as a standalone. That is possible. You would get more out of it reading it in the series, but you can pick it up as a standalone. So just be aware of that, but it can be read as a standalone if you choose to, but you'll just get more if you read it in order with the series. So, but it is a long series. Like I said, book 9, not everybody's ready to commit to that. So maybe if you want to pick this one up, and if you like it, then you can go back and read the other ones up to. This one to me was very emotional. Some of the other books, they all have separate issues that the couples deal with, obviously. And each book, it seems to, they focus on a different couple. And so this one, obviously focusing on a different couple, they had different issues, and this one was very emotional. This one really had to do with overcoming past trauma. The characters actually, like they both came from very dark pasts, and they had to overcome it. And when there's some stuff that comes out along the way of them overcoming it, and they're working through these issues together, and the romance is building, even though like I said, they really got some dark stuff they're trying to work through. And oh my gosh, when they're trying to work through all this stuff, there's going to be some stuff that comes out that really is going to blow up in their faces, and it's going to just set them back 10 things, and then they're going to have to work through that. And then you have this plot on top. So you have this romance building, and you have this paranormal aspect, and then there's this plot that's been building with each book, because like I said, it's a series. So you have these bad guys that have been building with each plot. Like I said, each book has a new couple, and you have this plot that keeps building in the background, and that plot is still thickening with the bad guys in the background, that they're still thickening, and so they're obviously trying to fight that as well. And each character, each couple still focusing on that as well. And so you have a lot going on. So I don't want you to think, oh my gosh, a new romance. Her books are they're not simple, bing, bang, boom. She has emotions. She's got the little bit of the suspense in there. She's got a little bit of the complications and a little bit of the mystery going on with, the extra plot. But this one to me was very heavy in the romance, and not the romance, the emotions. It was heavy in the romance too, but it was really heavy in the emotions for me. And a book because I read a lot, and for one to touch me and make me cry, because I cry, don't get me wrong, I cry over books, but I've read I think it's 212 books already this year. And I can say easily only under 15 have made me truly cry. And this one did. This one had me crying. So that says a lot. This one had me bawling, because I was just like, oh my gosh, no. And I kind of had the feeling that it was headed in the area it was headed. And if you decide to pick it up and read, you're going to kind of know it's headed in that area. And you're sitting there as you're reading, you're like, oh my God, no. You're happy it's headed in that area. And then at the same time, you're like, no. Is this where this is headed? Is this really where it's, you're like, oh my gosh, this is where this is headed. And so then you want to keep reading, because you're like, I got to read more. I got to know more. But anyway, so a great book, a 5-star read for me. So I would check this one out. If you love a good paranormal romance, and you don't have to have the spice to get onto your book, or if you were somebody who does not prefer spice, then definitely check this one out, because I love this one, and I think you Might too.